for all of the hard work and this elaborate sci-fi fantasy dungeon that we are lost and confused.
In our game tonight, we use a variety of incredible assets, like the maps by Monty, produced by talented artists, and they have graciously given us their permission to use these in our stream games, and you can too in yours at home. So please, we encourage you to check out and support these amazing creators. We have Roll20 Virtual Tabletop, the maps made by Monty through Dungeon Draft and Wonder Draft, based on photography by Dyson Logos, player character artwork by Jeremy Cole, NPC token artwork by Matthias Bourbon, monster token artwork by the Monster Manual, and other source books, spell effect tokens by Gabriel Picard, and by Jason Audio.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including Dusk Wardens, Yes Yes Yes, and Way Bigger Than Ducks. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Alrighty, and well, the videos that we create on our channel, as well as our live streams, are made possible thanks to the incredible generosity of our Patreon supporters. And we thank each and every one of you from the bottoms of our hearts. If you enjoy the videos that we create here on YouTube, Twitch, and elsewhere, please check us out on Patreon. You can join our awesome Discord community at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community, so that is exclusive to our patrons. So if you do join us on Patreon, make sure to hop into Discord, where we chat about all sorts of nerdy topics, and that also includes monthly writers' rooms, where you can come in and help Monty and I come up with our upcoming scripts for our show. And also we do monthly Q&As, where patrons submit questions and we answer those questions once a month. So a lot of exciting stuff happening in the Discord. Join us there and have fun.
Awesome. And of course, you can always check us out on YouTube as well at youtube.com/dungeondudes. We got new videos coming every Thursday, every other Tuesday as well, so check that all out as well.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch all of the previous episodes of this show and Season 1 Dungeons of Drakenheim on our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time in the Shadows of Drakenheim.
Meidän pitäisi pestä pyykkiä. Onkohan sähkö nyt halpaa?
Kato sovelluksesta.
Paljonkohan sähköä me käytetään päivässä?
Kato sovelluksesta.
Mistä sovelluksesta?
Oma Fortumista. Oma Fortum antaa sinulle selkeyttä ja mielenrauhaa. Ehkä siksi olemme Pohjoismaiden suosituin.
Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakenheim. My name is Monty Martin, and this is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. I am joined this evening by some of my very, very good friends.
I'm Kelly McLaughlin, and I will be playing Wilhelm Wolfsbane, the human swashbuckler rogue.
I'm Jill Denitis, playing Rudy Whitaker, the shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joel Gorman playing Wrath, the Aasimar Warlock.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. We are the Dungeon Dudes, and Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. So you can check us all out there at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube. And if you feel like listening along, Dungeons of Drakenheim Season 1 and Up to Date on Shadows of Drakenheim, our current season, are both available as an audio-only podcast at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
We are very also pleased to announce that for all you fans of Drakenheim out there, Dungeons of Drakenheim is coming to Kickstarter this summer. you will be able to pick up your very own copy of the Drakkenheim book. This is the nearly finished half of the nearly finished manuscript right here in my hand, which is well underway. We're so excited. We're partnering with Ghostfire Games to bring this book to life. We are seeing some amazing things as we are planning this whole Kickstarter coming together. You can sign up for our mailing list at drakkenheim.com to keep some updates. But I thought this maybe we should read something from the manuscript. What do you think, Kelly?
What are we reading?
Maybe some of the new magic spells? Something from that section? I don't know. Yeah. How about something for the introduction to the new spells? Researching new spells in Drakkenheim. Contamination immunity, contaminated power, neutralizing field, and siphon contamination are undiscovered spells at the start of a Drakkenheim campaign and must be researched by the player characters themselves. The spell descriptions outline the prerequisites needed to successfully research the spell, which requires knowledge of other spells and conducting research at dangerous locations in the ruins. Once these requirements are met, a character may spend downtime and gold to complete the research as per the spell description. Thereafter, the character may prepare the spell, add it to their spellbook, or replace a spell they already know with a new spell, as appropriate for the spellcasting features of their class. So that's some new stuff that is coming in the book. Researching spells, totally undiscovered by the original Dragon Force either.
You know how many people are going to be playing this back over and over, writing down every bit of info that you just gave out?
That technically was like a teaser for like four or five of our new spells as well, because they were named in there. And you can guess what a lot of them do by the names.
I remember Siphon. I heard Siphon.
Siphon contamination, all I'm going to say, it's a dirty spell. It can save a life, but it can ruin a life too.
Yeah, it's not a good, it's a
last resort spell that like...
Imagine someone with like a garden hose performing the procedure. Like, it's when you said dirty, I was like, that's in my head.
It's you'll see when you read it.
I'm excited. So excited.
Yeah. So yeah, the book is going to be featuring a bunch of new monsters, all new bespoke stat blocks for some of the big creatures from the original Drakkenheim campaign. We've got a bunch of spells planned as well, lots of and a ton of new magic items, in addition to the amazing core of the book, which features over 20 fully detailed adventure sites in Drakkenheim and all the details on the factions. So that's going to be coming up very, very soon. We're super excited. Stay tuned here. I think for the next couple of weeks we'll keep maybe we'll make this our opening tradition, do a little bit of a read through from the from a cool preview from the book. So if you have any requests of something that you'd like us to read an excerpt from, post them in the comments or in chat, and maybe next time we will see who we will read a preview from. But with that, shall we return to the shadows?
Yeah.
Please.
Drakkenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakkenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that cursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, they were exploring the mysterious elven lighthouse off the coast of Ash Bay. Having encountered several sessions ago, the fish folk and their other nefarious minions who were battling at the top of the tower, they worked their way down facing various elven ghosts and floating skulls and encountering a strange library of mysteriously erased books. Furthering on their explorations and passing by several strange statues of forgotten elven gods and strange doorways of prismatic light, they happened upon a strange old elven man. This thin and waif-like man is a far cry from the man who you saw depicted in several of the elven tablets. Where once was a proud, standing elven man, probably in his prime, is now a bent and crooked geezer. Instead, he still has this long hair that extends past his shoulders, but what was once lush and proud, it's now thinning and pure white. His face has become sallow and wrinkled, and there's wisps of beard growing out down around him, and his ears are withered as well. His skin is cracked, and he wears these simple gray robes as he just wears these simple gray robes as he leads you up into the tower to explore further. He's offered you some food from the table. He speaks in a very sort of raspy voice, almost as if if he's just forcing up a whisper. He doesn't seem to really know who he is, though. He has a vague idea that his name was Valtar Banemoon, but that seemed to be as much of a surprise to him as when you mentioned that name, that recalling it like a name. I haven't heard that name in a long, long while. Oh, it's me!
So are we still eating food with him?
I'm finishing.
Yeah, I think I had a steak.
Yeah. The table conjures up almost anything for you to eat. It tastes good, but there's something missing, as if it wasn't. It tastes good, but it tastes fake.
I prestidigitate the taste to be better.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, you still notice it as if the flavor itself was already being created with prestidigitation.
Where did this food come
from? It's conjured, I think.
By who?
No. It comes from the same place all magic comes from.
Does it seem like he's eating?
Yeah, he's eating.
I mean, it tastes magical. Literally.
Well, would you say, like, are we saying, if you're saying that yours tastes magically delicious, mine tastes a little hollow, I would say.
If you've ever had a meal prepared with love, they say you can taste the love in it. And if you've ever had a meal prepared with magic, it stands to reason you could taste the magic in it. But the taste of magic is not always a bright taste. Just as there is such a thing as a light that is too bright.
Why have you brought us?
Well, because I live here and it seemed the right thing to do when a guest arrives at your doorstep. I haven't had a visitor ever. I don't really know, is this the right thing that you're supposed to do when you have a visitor?
By all accounts, yes, your manners are impeccable.
Oh, good. Good. I haven't seen other people. I know that I must have known other people, but I can't remember what their faces look like.
manners maketh the man, so you're good in my books, Mr. Elf. But can you tell me again what
see the moon.
what do you remember?
The moon is rising.
Do you have a job here? Do you just eat food and wander around all day? Tell me a bit about yourself.
These messages, yes.
I remember that I'm supposed to wait here. And I remember that I'm not supposed to leave. I didn't remember my name until you mentioned it. I remember all my spells, though.
You remember your magic and not your name.
Yes, I feel like I could tell you anything about magic, but I couldn't even tell you what... if I had parents or a brother or siblings or a lover. I know what these things are, but the sense that I had those is gone.
Raph, is there some sort of examination, a magical examination that you might be able to give him? Perhaps he is under a spell, the byproduct of a spell. Perhaps there's more to him than meets the eye. Perhaps with being in such a magical place, it might stand to reason that magic has interfered with his mind or with his person in some way. I assume you have the means to analyze these sort of things, being a mage yourself.
With his permission.
I would welcome your attempt. I've tried myself, though, you know.
It seems that the ticket may be these messages. Is this you? Is this... like, if I play these tablets back for him, can we... Is it a... oh yeah, we don't have the tablets.
You left them with River, yeah.
Man, River.
Okay, Raph, do you happen to remember them? Can you recite the message?
I think that's not unreasonable to say that you could recite details of the message, but I think that you would need to ask specifics. Like, you might need to frame a specific question for me, of like, does this mean anything to you?
Okay. Using the actor feat, I can mimic the speech if I've heard another character for at least a minute. Can I, like, uncannily mimic his voice back to him to determine if the tablet is him?
This is a message in a series of...
Yeah, and you know what? You could use your disguised self to emulate the appearance that you saw as well. And it kind of sends him into a bit of a shock. For a moment, he kind of shakes himself and for a moment and says, I know that's me, but I don't remember that me. I remember losing that me. And he thinks very carefully for a moment and says, I remember coming here, and then I remember forgetting. Yes. I remember there were more here. More of us. And once we forgot, we all decided that I would stay. For some reason, there was no discussion about it. There was no debate about it. It had to be I who stayed here. And the others left. And I saw them once, twice. I don't know how long passed between saw them again. I don't know how long ago that was.
Respectfully.
There was more of the tower then. I could move around. He says the arches below, they were filled with color. I couldn't pass them. I was trapped inside here. But that great chamber, where you were, I remember standing in that pool of water, surrounded by hundreds of others, perhaps. We all stood around in a daze, like we didn't know what had happened to ourselves. The others left the tower, and I remained behind.
Before we discovered that you were here, we found a library, a place of books, although they were all blanked. And I'm going to show him one of the books from the library. Do you have other things like this? Do you have other sources of information, something written down that might have given you your first instructions? What's the oldest thing in this place that you remember?
He looks at the book and he says, It was the price. It was the price we paid. The debt came due, and we had to pay it.
Price for what? What were you paying for doing?
It was the price. It was the price of passage. It was the price that we paid to come here.
Well, I'm gonna turn off the stream now and go to the store, get some stuff we need for dinner.
I think it bought our
Since
lives.
it's Friday, it's gonna